Wow. Thank you guys for joining me live from the grooming table. I am a professional pet groomer for over 20 years. My name is Amy Lee. I am a certified professional pet groomer, but it is my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so that you can provide the same level of quality care to your beloved pets at home as I provide to all the pets that I groom as a professional. I share those secrets with you. For years we've been sharing those secrets, and you guys are all amazing groomers. Some of you groom your own pets. Some of you only maintain your pets between grooming appointments. Some of you are groomers. Some of you are seasoned groomers for years. And some of you want to learn more about pet grooming. So you're in the right place. Yeah. Having a place to learn valuable information on pet grooming tools, products, where to get them, how to use them, what are safe dog grooming methods and techniques. That's what we share here. So that's why I created this YouTube channel for you and your pets. Welcome you and you and you to Go Groomer on YouTube. This is your community, our community. Tonight's topic is great and just in time because it is winter. And along with winter brings some things that we have to make ourselves aware of for our pets. Some things that sometimes we overlook. So the topic is dog paw pad care, which is very important. Caring for those paw pads. One of the most overlooked concerns for pet owners is the health of their dog's paw pads. Not because you don't care. That's not why. It's just often overlooked. We don't think about it. They're standing on those paw pads. We just don't think about it until your dog comes up and gives you a nice little high five on the face and you go, oh, your paw is not feeling so good today. Or maybe you notice your dog licking and licking obsessively at their paws. Well, there's things that your dog's trying to tell you. They're trying to take care of it themselves. So I'm going to bring it all and set it right in your lap here tonight. I cannot wait, but it is often overlooked, the care for their paw pads. It doesn't take much, but we need to pay attention to the paw pads to know if we need to do anything at all. These often overlooked parts of your dog's anatomy, their paw pads, serve as natural shock absorbers. Those paw pads are so important, and you're going to learn all that tonight because I go deep. I'm going deep into the pad of the paw pad tonight. We're going to really get a great understanding here together of what they do for our pets and what we need to do to take care of them. So, they definitely protect our dogs against harsh terrain. They provide a barrier between the connective tissue in the foot and the bones and the external part of the foot. They also provide traction. It's traction control. That's what those paw pads are. So, we have a lot to talk about here tonight. Neglecting their care for their paw pads can lead to some painful cracks, some infections, and even mobility issues. Paw pad health is not just about comfort. It's about safeguarding your pet's well-being all year round. And you may not realize there's a paw pad problem, but we're going to teach you here tonight to just simply inspect them on a regular basis. It is often overlooked. I'm guilty with my own dog. I don't often sit there and examine his paw pads, but it's very important, especially this time of year where I'm at in northern part of the United States in Pennsylvania. Temperatures are becoming very severe, as well as ice and snow and other things like that. Chemicals are, whether we put chemicals down on our sidewalks to melt the ice, or they are actually on all the roads. Up here in Pennsylvania, they salt all the roads for our protection, but we walk our dogs on the roads, especially me in a development that we don't have sidewalks. We walk on the road. So I want to remind everybody of that. Just because you don't use ice melt on your sidewalks doesn't mean that they're not in contact with it. But I'm going to tell you an easy, fun thing that you can do to definitely eliminate it if you go for those walks. And You won't have to worry about that wreaking havoc on your dog's paw pads, because it will. Ice melt can be damaging. Some dogs have pretty tough paws, but they're not all made the same, unfortunately. Some dogs fare well and some don't. Also tonight, I'm going to give valuable tips for dog groomers on offering specialized paw pad care services tailored to the seasonal changes that you face in your areas. We all live in different climates, so you may not even experience winters like me, but you do have other issues that you experience in your climate. So there's always some little things that you can add into your services, and they can be add-ons. Customers are willing to pay for things, especially as the seasons change, to protect their dog's paw pads, but you have to bring it to their attention. They might be like us right now and overlooking those paw pads, but we're not overlooking them anymore. It's what we're talking about tonight. So that's coming for you. Whether you're caring for your dog at home or looking to enhance your grooming business, this video is definitely going to help you address one of the most overlooked aspects of a dog's health, of our pet's health, and that's their paw pads. So let's get to it. I'm also thinking about doing a giveaway tonight. So you guys let me know if you'd be interested in that. You're going to have to stick around, and I'm not sure what game we're going to play to give it away, but I'm anxious to put this in your hands. Somebody's going to win it. So we're going to have to think of some good ways to do that. So get to thinking. If you got a good idea or a question, hold the dash key in the chat, hold the dash key to create a line, and then type your question or your suggestion for the giveaway. Because after I'm done going through our lesson together here about paw pads, I'm going to give something away, something that I love dearly, and I want to make sure that it gets in your hands too. So it's right on topic too. It will help tremendously. So stick around, my friends. We're giving back tonight. I love giving back. All right, so let's do it. What's a dog's paw pad? What are they designed to do? This is very important that we talk about this first. It's just something that maybe, gets overlooked. What are those paw pads actually designed to do? So we have some illustrations to share to really bring it up close to you, those little paw pads. So let's take a look at this. That's a cute little paw pad. I just want to give a little massage. That is a healthy paw pad, my friends. It actually is. You may think, it looks a little rough. It looks a little chalky. It looks this or that. I'm telling you right now, it's a healthy paw pad. So what are paw pads designed to do for our dogs? Paw pads provide shock absorption. They act as a cushion that absorbs impact and protect joints from, the force from running, from jumping, from walking. They're shock absorbers. Absolutely they are. That's shock control. So the paw pads provide that. They cushion their steps, basically, and they protect them from the exterior surfaces, and they protect what's inside the softer, more vulnerable tissue inside of a dog's paw. The second thing paw pads do is they are absolutely traction control. Yeah, we all know what that button is in our car, and we like to push it sometimes and go really fast, and sometimes we shouldn't push it because bad things happen when you push traction control. It becomes much more responsive, right, your car. Well, anyway, it's a good thing. It's also a good thing for your dog's paw pads. The rough surfaces of your dog's paw pads, that helps to maintain a grip on the surfaces, preventing them from slipping on different surfaces, whether it's even inside your hardwood floors. I know my dog struggles a lot. Gus, he struggles going up and down our stairs here because they are wood plank, and they're beautiful, but they have no traction. And he relies on his paw pads for that. So that's what paw pads do. They help them get traction on all different surfaces. Paw pads, they actually are, this is one you may not realize, they're temperature regulation little paw pad things in there. That's what they do. They help them to regulate their temperature on their pads. They contain sweat glands in their paws. One of the few places that a dog does contain sweat glands is in their paw pads. And why would they have sweat glands in their paw pads? Because it helps to regulate their body temperature. It also aids in cooling them in the hot weather. So it serves a good purpose, but paw pads are very important. That's the first step of our lesson, is to understand that. Paw pads provide protection. So, they are made of tough, thick skin with fatty tissue underneath. The paw pads protect the underlying bones and tissues from injury and from harsh surfaces. That's what the exterior part of our dog's paw pads do. They protect that soft connective tissue inside of their paws. Paw pads provide insulation. The fat and connective tissue in the paw pads are adapted to help insulate against cold grounds when they're outside walking on those cold pavements, cold ground, cold mud, cold snow and ice. They also enable your dogs to walk on the snow and the ice, the paw pads, and protect them at the same time. And you never want to leave your dog out in the snow and ice for an extended period of time because they can get frostbite, and we will talk about that. Many people think their dog's paw pads should feel soft and smooth, but the truth is, another picture for you. Let's look at this fuzzy little foot. The truth is, are they supposed to feel soft and smooth? A healthy dog's paw pad should have the following characteristics. I'm just going to run through them, okay? What should it look like? What should a healthy dog paw pad look like? It should be smooth, yet textured. Yes, we want to see some texture. The surface should be soft, but with a natural, textured feel that's what provides the grip, so they don't slip, that we were just talking about, their traction. So smooth yet textured, that's normal if you have some texture on your dog's paw pad. The paw pads should be even in color. Typically black is the color of most dog paw pads. Pink is also another color you'll see, or a combination of both. Depending on the dog's breed and their pigmentation, you would see sometimes a combination of both. But what you don't want to see is any unusual discoloration or redness. If that's present, that's an alarm right there to take a look, say, hey, we got to think about our paw pad care right now. Paw pads should be free from cracks and wounds, obviously. I mean, I know you guys know that, but some people, I think, might think that as a dog is getting older, and obviously their paw pads have been working hard for them for a lot of years, they think that some cracks and things like that are normal, but it's really not. That's a sign that it's dehydrated, the paw pad. So there should be no deep cracks, cuts, or abrasions. Minor wear and tear is normal, absolutely, but it should not ever appear to be severe. That's important. It should never appear to be severe. This leads us right into take a look at this poor little paw pad. This picture shows you what a dog paw pad can look like when fungus is present. Notice the fibers of the tissue are frayed and they almost look like hair. I've seen it a million times. If your dog's paw looks like this, the paw pad is compromised. Schedule an appointment with your vet. It's very important. This can be corrected with medical attention, but it will worsen if it's left unattended to. I have seen it many times, guys, over the years grooming dogs, and the pet parents who chose to ignore it didn't heed my warning saying, hey, this can be fixed. Let's get it taken care of before it gets worse and worse and worse, and it can become very painful. And the people who chose to ignore that warning, they paid the price with an out-of-control fungal infection that their pets ended up suffering from. And it will take a while to get back to good if you let it get really bad. But this is what it looks like. If you see this, we got to be concerned about a fungal infection. It's attacking the flesh. It really is. It's eating it away. And it can be corrected, but it needs to be seen by a vet. Very important. All right, let's get rid of the sad stuff. Let's go back to look at some cute little paw pads. Paw pads should be firm yet flexible. So yes, they should be firm. Definitely. It's their shoes. It's their boots. In the winter, it is their winter boots. Healthy pads feel firm to the touch, but should not be overly hard or brittle. That's important. It's hydration. They should almost feel, they should feel like the sole of a shoe a little bit. Okay, because that's what they are. That's their shoe soles. But obviously not like our rubber shoe soles. Not as firm as our rubber shoe soles or, you know, boots or anything like that. But they are a thin protective layer. And they shouldn't ever be excessively soft, and they should never be excessively swollen. That's an indication that something's up. Paw pads, they need to be moisturized. They must feel moisturized and not feel dry. Naturally, they're going to feel moisturized if the dog's paw pad is pretty healthy. If it's a healthy paw pad, it's going to feel like it has a little bit of moisture in it, because it actually does. Remember those sweat glands? They have a little, you know, balance of moisture in those paw pads. The pad of the dog's pad of the foot should feel slightly moist and hydrated. Excessively dry or flaky pads are a sign of dehydration or neglect. Meaning we gotta do something. We gotta take a look at this. A dog's paw pad should be odorless. Yeah, that's right. No Frito smell here. We don't want Frito smells. Often that Frito smell actually is, and this is why a lot of dogs have it, because that's what their little sweat glands and their feet smell like. That's what you smell. But if it's a horrible smell, that's not normal. Healthy paw pad does not have a foul odor, which could indicate an infection if it does have a pretty stinky, odd smell to it. But a little bit of that Frito smell it's normal. But a lot of Frito smell is not normal. Paw pads should always be free of debris. So there should be no lodged objects like splinters, mud, gravel, or ice in your dog's paw pads. Dogs with healthy paw pads walk normally and do not favor one paw over the other. They also won't excessively lick or chew at their feet if they're a healthy paw pad. If they do excessively lick or chew at their feet or favor one foot over the other, that could indicate some discomfort or some irritation. So that's a sign that they're giving you. But I want you guys to note that dogs with mobility problems, such as arthritis, joint pain, or maybe even an injury that they've had and they're nursing along, they are definitely going to favor one paw over the other. That's normal. They're adjusting the weight so they don't further injure their arthritis, joint pain, or injury. So that would be about the only time you want to see a dog favoring one foot over the other, is if there's arthritis, joint pain, or an injury. Other than that, they should be walking just fine. And if they're not, and they don't have arthritis, joint pain, or an injury, it could be something lodged in the paw pad. So that's time to take a look. That's the indication. If they're favoring one foot over the other, or excessive licking. But if your dog does have, obviously if your dog has arthritis, joint pain, or injury, you want to visit your vet, because there's options to provide relief for your dog for that too, guys. So don't think they always have to live with the pain, especially of arthritis or anything like that. There are options. Weigh your options by talking to your vet. Let's talk about, if you notice excessive paw licking, could it be a sign of poor paw pad health? Well, it could be, but not always. Here's a list of some reasons why your dogs may be licking their feet often and what you can do about it. The first thing on the list is your dog may have come in contact with some chemical outside, such as lawn fertilizer or even ice melt. And there's many things outside that they can come in contact with because they're stepping on everything. So a quick dip in a small bucket with warm water, no need for soap or shampoo, just warm water after your walks. This can wash those irritants away before your dog can try to take care of it themselves by licking it. You don't want your dog ingesting these chemicals because it is definitely toxic. So it's a good idea to dip your dog's paws in just warm water in a small little bucket, one at a time. I did a post on this on our community tab this week. On my newsletter was about this week. So there was extensive information about your dog's paws in my newsletter. So if you haven't opened that up, go read it, but not right now. So just dipping them in a bucket is going to get that off of their paws, which is very important. So excessive licking can definitely be a sign that your dog, something isn't right there with the paw pads. Either something's stuck in it, they're hurting, they're swollen, they're raw, they got sunburn, they got burned from the pavement, the ice was hard on them, something's going on. So another thing is, another reason your dog might lick their paws is excessive fur growth in the paw pads. Just like this, like what I'm showing you here. This can become matted in there, guys. If your dog's paw pads are not trimmed out on a regular basis, it can become matted. It can collect mud and sap and anything else that your dog steps on in the house or outside. And it can become kind of impacted in the hair and form a mat, which then it feels like they're walking on a stone if it forms a mat in their paw pads. So even if your dog gets a haircut fairly regularly, their paw pads will overgrow a lot faster than you think they do. So spending, getting them into the groomer just for, feet touch up and nails is something groomers will do for you. It's important. Or if you groom your dog yourself, think about keeping those paws clean and shaved about every 4 to 6 weeks. Double-coated dogs and any dog that requires a haircut are going to regularly grow hair within their paw pads, and it should be shaved out about every 4 to 6 weeks to prevent matting, poor traction. Obviously, they can't get a grip if their paw pad's full of hair. It can also cause discomfort. Never use human clippers on your dog. We talk about that all the time, guys. I have many videos teaching you the proper way to shave your dog's paw pads and what tools to use and how to use them. You can injure a dog if you're inexperienced in shaving paw pads. So proceed with caution or trust your groomer to attend to this paw treatment. If they need their feet shaved, groomers, we can do that in our sleep. We know exactly what to do, how to do it safely, and what tools to use. So keep those paw pads free of hair. It's very important. Here's another thing that people may not think about often, and this is something I had to think, and I was like, oh, yeah. So overgrown nails can also cause your dog to kind of walk as if something's wrong with their paw pad, but it's really just the nail making them walk differently because they're feeling that back pressure on the nail. Your dog also could be licking and biting at their paws because their nails need trimmed. So if you notice your dog licking and biting their paws, that's what it could mean. It could be a lot of excessive hair in the paw pads too. But keeping an eye on those nails is important. It's something that a lot of people don't realize about their dog, that they're trying to tell them when they're chewing on their paws is something is wrong here, either with my paw pad itself or it hurts, or my nails are too long and I bite them off, whatever. They're like, I'll take care of it. But sometimes they don't do such a good job. So we don't always want to leave them to their devices. We need to step in and we need an intervention there if they're having some issues with their paws or their nails. So keep your dog on a 6-week nail trim schedule with a groomer and eliminate many of the problems that can occur from dog nail neglect, which can affect the way they walk on their paw pads. And if they're walking in an awkward way because of their nails, it can start to rub a certain area on their paw pad that they don't usually use and cause some soreness. So I've seen that happen too. But those are the most common reasons why your dog may be licking or chewing on their paw pads. So pay attention if you see that happening. They're showing you that they will take care of the matter. They're going to take it into their own paws quickly if you let them. Now let's get talking about seasonal changes and what that may bring for our dog's paw pads. This is interesting. I love this part of the lesson because it is something that I think even with us groomers, we get to grooming and we often the seasons just fall right into the other one because we're so busy. But it's important to maybe make some notes in your schedule. Hey, first day of spring, first day of fall. That way you're aware, hey, we're actually in spring. Spring brings a lot of allergens, a lot of things. We're in fall. Fall brings a lot of sticks, a lot of nuts falling off trees and debris in the air. So it's important because you can advise your pet clients, the pet parents, that maybe we need to do a little extra care with paws right now, or simply it reminds you to ask them, have you noticed them licking their paws a lot lately? And I got some other suggestions for our groomers and for you at home with paw care options. So stay tuned for that. But remember that a dog's paw pad, it's naturally designed to endure various terrains, but without care and attention, they can suffer damage during the different 4 seasons. So here's what can happen. Let's talk about spring. In spring, some things that we're going to notice are a problem for our dog's paw pads are allergies and irritants. Pollen, pesticides, fertilizers can irritate paw pads, leading to redness, swelling, or itching. Paw pads on constant wet ground in spring, that can be a problem too. Rain-soaked areas may cause paw pads to soften, making them more susceptible to abrasions or infections even, because it softens the pad so much because they're constantly walking on wet ground. So that quick little dip in the water bucket each paw when you get home really helps to just remove all these things from the paws. In summer, paw pads can suffer from burns from hot asphalts, hot surfaces, concrete walkways, asphalt, sand, concrete, all those things, extreme temperatures. That when things heat up and our dogs are walking on them, their paw pads can only protect them so much. So if it is seriously hot in the summer, it's always a good idea to walk your dog early morning or later in the evening when things have cooled down, because they can really get injured on hot surfaces. And oftentimes until it's too late, you don't see the signs. You don't see them stopping picking their feet up until the damage is done. So, I mean, burns, blisters, you name it. And I know you guys are aware of it, but it's good to keep reminding ourselves of these things as we take our dog out on hot days, on cold days, in different terrains. You know, can their paw pads handle it? That's important. Paw pads in the summer can often become dehydrated and crack. That's common. High heat, dry air can cause the pads to lose moisture, leading to cracks that can become infected. You know, a crack is an open wound in their paw pad. So it's just waiting, it's inviting bad things in. So you want to pay attention, and I have some tips for you on how to maintain those paw pads in healthy conditions. In the fall, paw pads suffer things like debris on the ground can cause injuries. Falling leaves and sticks may hide under, sticks can be hidden under those leaves and other objects, increasing the risk of cutting the dog or getting a splinter or stepping on something that's going to hurt them. So be careful of that. Fall also can bring a lot of mud, and mud has bacteria. So wet, muddy surfaces can harbor bacteria or fungi, causing infections. If there's any open crack or any open sore wound or rawness already on their paw, you wouldn't want to take them out in those conditions just because, and you certainly would want to gently dip their foot in a bucket of warm water and use a towel or an absorber towel to remove the excess water immediately. Yeah, don't leave their paws soaking wet. If you do wash their paws, use a good towel or an absorber towel and remove as much water as possible. As water left in dark areas like a paw pad, it can actually start, if there's something wrong, or if your dog's licking, they have bacteria in their mouth, it could become bacterial ridden, and that could be a problem. And in the winter, Like now, paw pads can become frostbite. Frostbite is a thing for paw pads. Prolonged exposure to snow or ice can damage the paw tissue permanently if it's frostbite. That's why I say don't leave your dogs outside for any extended periods of time. If it's cold, if it's winter, I always watch my dogs when I take them out. I don't just let them out. Say, well, they're having fun in the snow, and yes, they are, but they're going to forget to stop having fun and get their butts back in before they get frostbite until it's too late. Obviously, in the winter, another thing paw pads have to deal with is salt and other chemicals that are, there to keep us from falling and breaking our paws. But unfortunately, they're not good for our dog paws. De-icing agents can definitely dry out and irritate paw pads, leading to cracking, irritation, erosion of the skin, and depending on the chemical, it can be bad. That's why in the winter, that quick little dip in a warm bucket as soon as they come back in is not a bad idea after their walks, especially if you're not walking them on your property where you know exactly what's on the lawn, what's on the sidewalks, what's on the macadam. If you're walking your dog on the road or in public places, ice melt and other de-icing liquids that are put down on surfaces like that for public, to protect the public, they can remain on those surfaces for a long time, even if you can't see them. Sometimes they use a liquid de-icer. So don't forget that when you're walking your pup around in public in different places that you're really not sure if they're in contact with any type of chemicals. So a quick dip in the bucket of warm water when you get home would be a great idea to try to prevent any problems and keep the paws happy and feeling good. Another problem with winter is ice buildup. Ice can be sharp, very unforgiving. Snow and ice between the toes can collect. That can create painful abrasions as they continue to walk. It can create sores. So one thing that I like to do for ice, one of the best things, if your dog is out, he's playing in the snow, he's having fun, it's been 15, 20 minutes, you're like, hey boys, time to get in here. We're gonna take a break, we're gonna give those paws a rest. And you get him in, and I know we've all seen the 1,000 of ice balls all over their arms, and their paws are just caked with ice and snow, just packed. So if it's just the paws, warm water and a bucket, zip the paw in, give it a little massage. That ice is going to melt right away. Dry it off really good. Do all 4 paws. That's a quick way to melt off ice or snow accumulation from the dog's paw pads. But I've always had golden doodles for a long time. I've had golden doodles, and they tend to get ice balls everywhere. So sometimes what you need to do in that case is, if you have an absorber towel, which I talk about them all the time, if you don't, they're linked in the description below, you run it under warm water, okay? Wring it out and compressing it on those areas. It will melt away the ice balls, the snowballs that are stuck in your dog's coat. Golden doodles are notorious for that because they love the snow. They never give up, and their fur collects the hair almost like they are a true snowman. But that's a good way to melt that snow off of your dog. The little snowballs that are everywhere, could be everywhere if your dog is really crazy in the snow. Instead of having to see about getting them in the tub and running warm water over them, then you have a completely soaked dog, and it's winter. So anyway, those are some things there about winter. Long-term wear and tear just on our dog's paw pads, continuous exposure to harsh elements without care. If we allow the paw pads to be attacked for an extended period of time, it can weaken the pads over time, reducing their ability to protect the dog, the paw pad. It has to protect him. That's its job. Protecting him from cracks, from cuts, from burns. This can easily become infected, these types of things. And that's definitely a trip to the vet. There's nothing you can do at home to fix that. Take them to the vet. Or it could lead to even more serious health problems depending on the severity of the injury to their paw pads, you know, just from abuse can injure their paw pads. So some preventative measures for paw pads. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff. I definitely picked out some products for you and linked them in the description below. Preventative measures. I handpicked a collection of products for you to consider adding to your pet care arsenal at home, specifically for paw care. So you're going to find them linked below in the description. What you're going to find is you're going to need to wash the paws. That's very important. One of the most important things with just water, just rinsing the paws in a bucket when you bring them in from a walk, especially if you don't know what they've been in contact with if you're out in public. Just dipping the paws and drying them off. Wash the paws simply in a bucket, dry them off after any outdoor activity to remove irritants. Irritants if you're concerned about that, because like I said, if you're out in your yard, you pretty much know what your dogs are in contact with, because obviously if you have your lawn fertilizer, you're aware of that. After a period of time, it probably is fine, but immediately after, you don't want your dog out there walking in it. If you're out in public though, you're not quite so sure what they've been in contact with. So a quick dip in warm water is really all you need to do. You don't have to go crazy, shampoo and condition those paws every time. I mean, that's just burdening, and it's not necessary unless they're very dirty. You want to get them clean. But I just had Gus out. We had some snow and ice weather this weekend. It was so cold. And we were out in the yard doing some things, and he always wants to be with us. And when I went to bring him in, his paws were really, really muddy, and including inside of the pads of the feet and everything, and really muddy. And there he stands looking at me, and I'm like, okay, just wait. So I had him stand on the side porch. I grabbed my cleaning bucket that's right there in the mud room, and I filled it up with warm water, only about that high. And I always have extra rags and towels and absorber towels. He has his own bin. This is the first bin of things in our mud room, but because we're always taking him in and out. So his brushes, his towels, his collars, his leash, it's all in there. So then I brought him in, I dipped his feet one by one, and he's so good about it, in warm water. I think it felt good. And I could see just the water muddy instantly. I mean, it just takes it right off. I didn't use any shampoo, didn't add anything like that, because now I'm gonna have to fill up a separate bucket and rinse them, and I didn't need to do it. All that, those paws came completely clean by just dipping them in warm water, not cold water, and not hot water. Never hot water when it comes to dogs for anything. And that did it. And then I just took my absorber towel, dried him off real good, and he was fine. My floors were clean, and his feet were definitely left in a good way. He definitely was running around a lot, and things could have gotten bad for his paws. But in leaving dirt and buildup in your dog's paw pads is going to cause a problem. So in the description below, you'll see a little bucket that I did link that's so cute. It's a collapsible bucket that you can easily keep in your little area where your dog comes in and fill it up. It's just perfect for any size paw, really. It doesn't matter the size of the dog, it's perfect. That's linked there. And another important thing we talked about was to trim the fur and the nails. So that is very important to do it regularly and avoid entrapments from the fur. Things getting stuck in there and laying against the skin and causing problems can cause imbalances in the skin too. So keeping the hair trimmed and the paw pads and the nails trimmed is very important. You can also consider booties. I've never been interested in doing that for any of my dogs, but I've heard a lot of people have success with them, and I see a lot of dogs walking in our neighborhood, and many of them have them. So apparently, they don't mind them, I guess, as long as they're fitted nice and they're comfortable. But I linked a pair that are really nice. They have grip on the bottom to protect your dog, and that can be used in summer too, if the pavements are too hot, or just if you're concerned about them walking around on snow and ice. If your dog doesn't mind slapping those booties on, give it a try. So I linked those because definitely protect their feet. And it might be something that you guys are interested in. I've never been interested in putting booties on my dogs yet. Maybe the day will come that I will. And the last thing to do for paw pads is to use a high quality paw balm to moisturize and protect the pads of feet. So especially within the change of season, when your dog may be showing signs of things are irritating, whether it's cold, whether it's pollens, whatever it is. But paw balms, and I use the Petals and Tails. This is one of my favorites. I have a couple. This is linked for you. This has CBD oil in it, so it's not only soothing, it's healing. And another really good one is the Springworks. Skinworks, this is great, very affordable. I use it for myself in the dog salon all the time. Just from washing dogs, my hands get dry. Boom, put this on. It's non-greasy, I love it. But this is great for paws. And especially if you're just looking to add a little bit of moisture back into the paw. There's really nothing to correct. You want to make sure, hey, I washed his feet when he came in and I dried him off. I just want to add a little bit of moisture to make sure that I'm keeping things balanced. That's a good one to do, is the Skinworks. So those things you can, I don't think I linked this, but I do have a link to Groomer's Choice, which is where you buy it. And depending on, anything you buy from Groomer's Choice, you'll get 10% off. But depending on how much you spend will determine if you get free shipping. I believe right now it's on orders over $99. So if you've got a list of things you need, Groomer's Choice has everything. So you can get that. They do not carry Petals and Tails because Petals and Tails is an exclusive company. They do not distribute with anybody. They are an exclusive company that only distributes their own products. Nobody else distributes them for them. So Petals and Tails is a great paw balm to use, especially if you feel like you've got some issues. But it's great to have on hand in case you do get some issues. So don't forget to use my code and my link. You get 15% off of Petals and Tails if you want to try that. Use the link in the code below and save money there. Just keep it on hand. One little thing will last you a long, long time. You don't need to use much. Now let's talk about what groomers can offer their pet parents as special paw care services. This is something that I did a lot, especially when I was grooming a lot of dogs. But as each season changes, inform your clients of the effects from spring, summer, fall, and winter, what those seasonal changes can do to the dog's paw pads. All the stuff we just discussed earlier. I just discussed all that stuff. So, after this video is done and we're done hanging out, go back and watch it and feel free to take a few notes about what those things are that they should be concerned about in spring, summer, fall, and winter. So keep them in the know. It's very important. People overlook the paw pads. It's just normal. Even groomers do sometimes. We don't think about, the care of our own dog's paw pads. We think about it as we're in the grooming salon grooming dogs, and we notice right away, this is not a healthy paw pad, But with our own dogs, how often we say, let me see those paw pads. Unless we groom them ourselves, which I actually do groom my dogs myself. So I do have a good idea of the health of their paw pads. But that's something a groomer can do, is first to inform the owners. Offer add-ons using your favorite paw care products. Remind your clients upon arrival that you can spend a few extra minutes during this grooming session providing specific care to their pup's paw pads. Remind them of that. And it would be a little charge, an upcharge, $10, whatever you feel, depending on what products you're using and how much time it's going to take you to use the product as far as what's suggested on the labels. One of my go-tos is a paw treatment. I don't even know if they still make it. This is a Tropiclean, the Spa Bubble Bath. This is extremely hydrating, extremely hydrating. That's one of my favorite paw treatments that will be an add-on to clients if they want me to do it, because I'm going to spend a little extra time with the dog. I apply it when I begin the shampoo process. So I first will wet the paws, apply this in the paws, and massage it all around in the paws, in between the toes. Well, I'm trying to hydrate. That's what a paw treatment does. It's not going to correct problems. That's something for the vet. if we're just looking to hydrate, especially in these season changes, it's not a bad idea. So work it into the paw pads, then shampoo the dog. Then it's set in the paw pads for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's good, hydrating. But now it's time to rinse it. So as you rinse the shampoo off, you rinse the spa bubble bath out of their paw pads as well. And now it's time for conditioning. When we condition, you can get deep conditioning treatments, or you can just use a darn good conditioner in the paw pads. Work it under the feet. You know, I always condition every ounce of every dog because we know the power of conditioner. It is a degreaser too. It can help remove buildup because it breaks it down. It's like a degreaser, but it also starts to balance and moisturize, add a balance to the fur and the skin. It's very important. So even if you don't buy some fancy product that is claiming to be a heavy-duty conditioning treatment, you can just use a really good hydrating conditioner. The Petals and Tails, this is a very good hydrating conditioner. And in the paw pads, I would not dilute it. I would use it 100% in here. You want to get as much moisture in there. iGroom has some beautiful conditioners that are extremely hydrating. So, but what you're doing is you're spending the extra time to really work it, both the shampoo and the conditioner into the paw pads. This is why it's an add-on. Because you're spending time to really overly cleanse and hydrate and condition and nourish the paw pads. I mean, there's products by Warren London. They have some good products. Tropiclean. Many of your favorite brands offer special products for paws, for hydrating and cleansing the paws. So take a look at what you already have, or you could simply just use a very hydrating shampoo and extremely nourishing conditioner that you already have on hand, like iGroom. One that comes to mind that I love so much is the charcoal and keratin iGroom. I like that shampoo and conditioner a lot. It's very hydrating, it's very nourishing. The Petals and Tails, these guys, they contain CBD oil too, so it's a win-win. It's preventative and it can heal. These two products together are wonderful to give your dog a paw treatment and use them 100% in the paws. You know, we want to get them wet. You can use a loofah in the paw pads too, but the conditioner, definitely no need to dilute it. You could dilute the shampoo for paw pads, but the conditioner used straight up in the paw pads. These are just little add-ons that are affordable for the pet parents, but they're very beneficial to the pets themselves. So I hope this information that I provided you here tonight in this video has reminded you of the importance of paw care and how important it is to your beloved pets. So we're going to get to questions, but what am I going to give away? Well, let me see what you guys are talking about here. Oh, you're chatty. Ooh, we're going to have to get the questions. All right. So I am going to give somebody these two products. You always see me using the Petals and Tails. You always hear me bragging about how wonderfully I cannot do this on camera. I am trying so hard. And I want to put them in somebody's hands. I want you guys to try them. Hopefully we can get chatty about it, right? Either here in a live from the grooming table or in our members live session. So how am I going to give these away? All right, I'm going to think about that. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and send it in the chat because I'm going to start answering some questions. But somebody's going to get their own, they're going to get to try the Petals and Tails, 2 brand new bottles. I bought these because I wanted to give them to you guys. Notice they're not gallons. I buy everything in gallon, but these are for you. Okay. And they're wonderful. So if you would like to try Petals and Tails, there is a link in the description below as well. So let's see what you guys are talking about in here. Alexis says, what is a good product for moisturizing paw pads? The one that I used mostly over the years was the Tropiclean Spa Bubble Bath Paw Treatment. I am not sure that they still make it or if they have renamed it. So I haven't bought it in a while. So I went looking for it and I'm like, I'm not seeing exactly that. Would be a good idea to just email Tropiclean right on their website. They'll tell you. And if they replaced it with something, they'll tell you what that is. Tropiclean has nice nourishing products. Warren London, this I actually like a lot. This is an exfoliating butter wash, but it is very hydrating. Has good things in it and it exfoliates. So that is good for the wash. For the conditioner, the conditioning step of a paw treatment, seriously, just any really good conditioner and use it 100% in the paws after you wet the paws. So in other words, when you bathe your dog, you shampoo them. You do this first, you shampoo them, you do your shampooing, rinse that, then you wet the feet, add the good conditioner, then condition the whole dog and rinse everything off. It gives it a little extra sit time on the feet, and that's really important because it can allow the product to add those nutrients back in and really give it a chance to hydrate, and that's the important thing. iGroom has many good products. I really do like the Sun Guard conditioner from Nature Specialty. They actually have a lot of good conditioners there too. Yves Saint Bernard products are amazing for hydration, but I know a lot of people don't even want to look at those prices, but they're worth it. So there are many that you could use. A very hydrating, good quality shampoo and conditioner. Hydrating, nourishing, that's what you're looking for. So hopefully that helps. Let's keep going. Janelle's reminding everybody to put a line in front of their question. Thank you very much, Janelle. I don't know what I would do in these live streams without my moderators. That's Ramblin' Court Jester, Janelle, and I think somebody else is, if I'm correct. Maybe they're not here. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your help. Let's get to it here with some more questions. Summers 422 says, is there anything that we can give them to calm them down while getting groomed? Yes. First of all, a good walk is a good idea for the pet parents to give them a nice little walk. It gives them a chance to use the bathroom too before the groom. So a nice 15-20 minute brisk walk for the dog before grooming helps. It helps relieve anxiety if that's what they're feeling. CBD oil, which you can get that high quality CBD oil from Petals and Tails and save 15%, linked below. That's another option. And just allowing the dogs, we talk about this a lot, Summer, allowing the dogs to learn to trust the grooming process. This takes time, and it can't happen if they're seldomly groomed. If they're groomed regularly and with the same groomer often, they can learn to build trust because the groomer's going to help them work through it. The groomer's going to see their struggles and say, we're training at this point. The dog's not okay with grooming, and we don't just throw them to the wolves. We have many videos about that, about why dogs hate grooming, what to do if they hate grooming. So go watch some of those. They're very helpful and they go deep on that topic. But those are some things you could give your dog is the recommended dose of CBD oil from Petals and Tails. Do not just go and buy CBD oil from any store. Petals and Tails has been tested for dogs and it has been dosed for dogs. So that's important. So I would say it's definitely worth a try. I have used it with my dogs many different times, and Gus has a lot of anxiety when we're not home. So I have seen some benefits for certain things, and certain things I haven't. I just feel like his anxiety is too high when it comes to being left alone. Amy says, sometimes the nails look a little brittle. Yes, they do. They can look cracked or broken, like dehydrated. What should I be concerned about? When should I be concerned that clipping the nails could damage or break or expose the quick? Wow, if they're really, really brittle, like when you cut them, you notice it breaks up. If they're just brittle, and a little dusty. That's not a problem. That's to be expected sometimes. I do know that giving dogs fish oil, if you look into that, can help with brittle nails. It probably would help with paw pads too. So don't just start dumping fish oil in your dog's bowl. Follow somebody like Rodney Habib on YouTube, on Facebook, or Dr. Karen Becker, or somebody that's going to share their secrets of holistic type remedies. Fish oil is brought up a lot, quite often. So I know it can have a lot of aiding properties with nails, with all kinds of things. So you might want to check into that. If the nail is really brittle and it's just breaking apart, and I've never seen a nail break apart from the quick. I've never seen a nail that brittle, but I'm not saying that it wouldn't be possible. I've just never seen that. I've seen some brittle nails. I've never seen it crumble and just leave the quick. That would be awful. That would have been a nightmare. So I don't really think that's too common, Amy. Not sure. Judy says, can I use a 15 blade to clean the paw pads? Absolutely, Judy, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to remind everybody that when we're shaving paw pads, we can use either a 10 blade, a 15 blade, or a 30 blade. If you're a beginner, don't use the 30 blade because it's a short clip, and if you're putting too much pressure, you could cause blood. You could not cut the dog, but it's like a contact thing. It's too close, and it can just cause a little bit of blood to the surface, and that can become irritated, and it could be a problem that needs babysitting. So I always tell my beginners 10 and 15. 15 is great, but you can still cause some problems if you're doing it wrong. So 10, 15, or 30 blades, what we use for paw pads. So thanks for giving me that opportunity to say that, Judy. That's a great question. And Titanic says, thanks for all you do. Well, you're welcome. I hope you've enjoyed this. This was a great topic. I really enjoyed doing all the research and putting it together for you guys. I always do. Summer says, is there anything that we can give our dogs to calm them down? I already answered that. She must have asked it twice. Okay. Alexa says, I have a Bernedoodle, Bernese Mountain Dog mix, and a poodle. She has a cut on her nose and it bleeds. Should I use a paw balm or something else? A cut on her nose, what I would use is either the Petals and Tails balm. This has healing properties in it. I would use this, or possibly just triple antibiotic salve that we would use. Not the cream, the salve. It looks like Vaseline, comes out in a tube. That stuff is pretty healing. That would be great. So that would be my suggestion. Anita says, how can I protect the nails of her behind paws? They are so short. Okay, so they're shorter because she wears them down probably. How can I protect the nails of the behind paws? They are so short. It must hurt. No. I wouldn't think it would hurt. She's wore them down because she's active. It has to do with her lifestyle. Dogs can wear their nails down. I mean, there's no doubt about it. She take them in her mouth and licking them all the time. She is 3 months with me. I know that they are they have protective ones for cats. Yeah, I don't think anybody that is not a professional should be putting on the fake nails on a dog. I just feel like professionals have a better in sync with the whole scenario. You wouldn't want anything to go wrong there. But what you could do, Anita, if you're saying that your dog's back nails are really wore down, which that is common sometimes. Maybe she jumps on her hind legs because she's excited. I don't know. She's wearing them down. So maybe try walking her or allowing her to be out on surfaces that are not hard, like in the grass, or just not on macadam, not on sidewalks as much. And that her nails should grow. She's wearing them down. That's the problem. So I'm not sure why, but she sounds very active. So I would have to say maybe it has something to do with that, or there's something that she likes to do that's wearing those back paw nails down. Peaceful Pup says, can you overuse the paw balm? Over soften? Yes, I think everything has its limits. So just because you want your dog's paw pad to soften up doesn't mean that you need to do it every day or twice a day. I would say if you did it once a day in the evening, if you made it an evening routine, that would be a good idea. If you take your dog for walks and you need to do the bucket paw wash thing, after you dry them off really well, that would be a good time to add the moisture back in. Paw balms they can only do so much. They kind of more than anything, like this particular, what? Why is that disconnecting? Are we still live, guys? I'm getting notifications from my software that it's having issues. I think we're okay. Okay, we're still here. Wow, sorry. That was the stream, yes. I don't know if it was a YouTube thing or an internet thing. Something happened, but we're still here, so thank goodness. So I think Peaceful Paws, I hope that gives you an answer. Maybe once a day, especially in the times where you think they need it most. Spring, change of season, winter, cold days, that kind of thing. All the time isn't necessary. You know, you really do want their skin to start to rebalance on its own. You know, just like with bathing and conditioning dogs, where we're hoping to rebalance the skin and coat so it can do its job for the dog. So moderation, always do that in moderation. MS says, how do you feel about the Aroma Care pet line? Aroma Care, I've never tried it. So I'm not sure if it's highly recommended by other groomers. I'd say that's always a win-win, because groomers tend to be pretty picky with our products and what we choose to use and what we choose to put our faith in. So if you know other groomers that use it, I'd say that would give you an idea. There's so many shampoos and conditioners and off-brands and brands that really aren't that great out there. But if you see professionals using products, that's something you might want to consider, because we've already done the homework and we know what's in it. We know we've tested the stuff. We put it through the test big time. So that would be my answer. Anything you see me talking about in videos, past videos, if I ever talk about a product, it's a winner. And a new product may come out on the market, and I may say, well, I love this one, and I do, but it doesn't mean I don't love the other ones that I've always loved. So any product I talk about in a video is a winner. And dog grooming products and tools really don't so much go out of style. So what I'm saying is, if I'm using tools and products that I used 10 years ago, and they're still valuable products and tools. There may be a new tool that's a little more comfortable now, but doesn't mean it is better. So, you know, don't throw away your old faithful grooming tools just because something new is out. They're still very useful. You know, our professional tools are built to last, most of them. So get that use out of them, and then when it is time to replace something, then consider trying something that is new and improved, or a different model that everybody's raving about, you know. All right, this is what I think I'm gonna do. I wanna give somebody this Petals and Tails. This is 8 ounces of each. Shampoo and conditioner. I cannot do this. You can see the amazing ingredients in the Petals and Tails products. I have seen the benefits from using the Petals and Tails products. So I want to send this out to a lucky winner. How are we going to do that? All right, let's say, this is hard because there's a lot of people. I need it to be somebody within the United States. I do know that because shipping costs will get out of hand, and this is a freebie. So I don't want to kill Go Groomer, right? No, it's Christmas. My wallet's pretty weak. Okay. So you must be in the USA. You do not have to be a professional groomer, but you do have to groom a dog on the regular. So here's what I think. I think if you want this shampoo and conditioner to try for your beloved pets or pet, you need to email me a picture of your pet, a picture that I can see, not a picture of an ear, a full picture of you and your pet. You and your pet. I want to see the pet. And I want you to tell me how often your pet is bathed and how often your pet is groomed. Those things. That's it. You have to be in the USA. You do not have to be a groomer. You must send me a picture of your pet. And you must tell me in the email how often your dog is bathed, conditioned, and then how often does your dog get a full groom. I need to know. Email address is in the description of every video. Email Go Groomer, it says. That's me. It's your go-to groomer at gmail.com, but why don't you copy and paste it from the description of my video? That way you know you got the right email address. So then I'm going to have to find a fun way, maybe, just maybe, I will make posts on the community tab of this YouTube channel of the pictures. So if you're sending me pictures, you better be willing to have them shared on the community tab. Let's put it that way too. And then I will have a cutoff date. Believe it or not, a lot of people probably aren't going to do this. This surprises me. This is why I don't do a lot of giveaways. People don't participate. They just want me to give it away now, and then they don't even email me when they win. It's crazy. The stuff I've given away and the way I had to go track people down for it is insane. So I'm going to put a deadline of tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the last time I will accept any email dated later than 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 10th, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, will not make the cut. And then I'm going to post these. I'm going to make some posts. So you guys are all familiar with the community tab on my channel, right? Well, keep a lookout there on the community tab. Keep checking on that. If you're on my channel, you see videos, you see shorts. These are all tabs. You see live streams, you see playlists, you see community. Click on that. It's a website. That's what it is. So you must email me a picture of you and your dog to the email address in the description of this video and every video on my channel. And tell me how often you shampoo and condition your dog and how often your dog gets a full groom, and you must be in the U.S. That sounds like a plan, right? Okay, I'm in. Okay, so tomorrow I am actually recording a podcast. I'm a guest speaker on a podcast. You'll find out where and who, probably within a week or so. So I do have that to do, but other than that, I am going to be behind my computer working my little fingers to the bone. So I will be looking for those emails. Please don't forget to send them to me. This is going to be fun, and I can't wait for you to try the Petals and Tails. It's amazing. This is the exotic orchid. That's my favorite scent. They have many scents. All the powers of the shampoos and the conditioners are the same. They do the same thing, but the scent changes. And the exotic orchid is one of my favorites. So you guys will get to smell my favorite and say, oh, I know why she likes it so much. Yeah, it smells good. Our next live from the grooming table is going to be December 23rd, right before Christmas. we'll have to do something fun in that live stream. I'll think about it. Any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. Something fun for Christmas for us and our pets. You know, we've been together a long time and we love to spend Christmas cheer together. So let's figure out something that we're going to do in our next live stream that might be a little bit more different than usual, but fun. But still has to be beneficial to dogs. Okay, we'll figure that out. So that is going to be December 23rd, which is a Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I can't wait to see you. It'll be our last live stream of the new year, until the new year, 2025. Wow. Unreal. All right, guys. Now, in closing of this live stream, I will leave you with our favorite Farmer's Dog Super Bowl commercial that touched hearts of dog lovers all over the world. That's Super Bowl Sunday a couple years ago. If you're interested in food for your dog that is species appropriate, tailored to a dog's specific nutrition needs, I would love to save you 80% on your first box of the Farmer's Dog. I can do that. I am a partner pro with Farmer's Dog, and I love the company. I love the benefits of the food. There's a link in the description below if you want to save 80% on your first box and see the benefits for your dog firsthand through your dog. Until then, my friends, I'm going to thank you for being here today. You know I love you very, very much. I'm very proud of you. And I have one more thing to say, and you can say it with me. I know you know me. This isn't your first time here. Long live